Year's Eve hoops. This is very
When's the
festive.
countdown begin?
5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
And coming right up, we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Dallas Mavericks. For Dallas, a tall task for them to win this one. On the road against a much superior team, their margin for error pretty thin. And for head coach Billy Donovan, it's been a roller coaster ride in OKC. From losing Durant to gaining Paul George, Kenny, the changes just keep on coming.
It's just keep on coming. I like the way you said that. They keep on coming.
They keep on coming.
Because it's hard to build consistency when your roster just kind of overturns every single year. But you can't say he doesn't have talent, though.
That's for sure. They just keep on coming.
I think it's a steep learning curve for a coach coming straight from college.
Okay.
But the fans, the organization, they only care about results.
Keep on coming.
Keep on coming, Shaq.
Keep on coming.
Keep on coming.
Keep on coming.
Happy New Year's Eve. Thank you for joining us here on 2K Sports for the NBA. We're all dressed up and ready to go. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. It's getting noisy here in Oklahoma City. We're at the peak, the Chesapeake Energy Arena, home of the Thunder. You look at Dallas. They're hoping they can carry over some of that momentum from their undefeated homestand.
And they've had the edge against this team, winning the first two matchups with 4 total on the season. They look to continue that advantage here tonight.
Keep the foot on the gas pedal in that case, Greg. You know what I say? If you can handle that, keep it down, man. Don't let them up. So I'm thinking they're looking for the knockout blow here.
And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge out on the sideline. David?
Well, guys, whether it's jilted fans in Utah or players' feelings after an unwanted trade, we always hear that saying, there's no loyalty in sports. But is there any room for nuance? The league's a business and a competition, and in any competition, there are winners and losers. Guys?
Great stuff, David. Thank you. Now we're getting into the grinded out part of the season, Clark. Should we expect rookies now, you think, to start feeling the length of the NBA season right about now?
You know, that varies from individual to individual. I know when I was a rookie, it happened for me probably after about the 40th game or so, and I just was flat. I was still putting up decent numbers, but I just felt flat, felt lethargic, and then all of a sudden after a week and a half or so, it just kind of went away, and I finished that rookie season strong. So every rookie's different. Some rookies never hit the wall, Kevin, but most do in some form or fashion.
And teams are all on top of this, aren't they? I mean, they know there's a chance it's going to happen, so they prepare accordingly.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it's rare when a rookie doesn't hit it, but for some it might be an extended wall. For others, it might be a short wall.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting 5 on the floor. On the court for the Mavericks. The 4 is Barnes with Jordan as the 5. Smith and Matthews in the backcourt. And it's Doncic in at the 3 slot. 4 on the clock. Matthews misses off the right iron. Here's Oklahoma City. Westbrook with it. Over Smith. Count it from 12.
And it's the fearlessness of Westbrook. It's really refreshing to watch. When he's deep inside, he just goes right at you.
Now, here is Smith. 14 points from him the last game against Oklahoma City. Tries again, and Craig sends it back.
3 misses to start the game, still trying to break the seal on that hoop.
Ferguson kicks to Grant. This is it to George. 3-pointer. Drains it from beyond the arc. George has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
And, you know, that's one of George's go-to shots. He's a 3-point shooter who spaces the floor well.
Smith against Westbrook. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation.
And, you know, we've seen what Rick Carlisle can do on the court. He's a former coach of the year in the league and led the Mavs to a championship back in 2011. But his off-the-court talents are also very impressive.
Now, here's George. He had a 36-point outing in the last game against Dallas. Adams trying free himself up. Jordan with some nice D.
Boy, the defense was great. Superb, stellar, platinum level. Can't really contest that shot any better than that.
And maybe that'll get them going. They need to find a rhythm.
Yeah, you know, good to see them finally find the bottom of the net because I think they got to build off of that.
So here's Westbrook. Harrison Barnes picking up that last basket. Goes up on the wing, and Westbrook gets it to go. Westbrook's got 6.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
And here's Smith. He's been a reliable scorer for him as he's hit.
I love that. Yes, indeedy. Boy, this guy has dunk contest winner written all over him. Smith Jr.'s cleverness and creativity. Really something special. Not to mention his bounce. This guy gets in the air.
Now here's Westbrook. Jordan with the rebound. Matthews scanning the floor. The pass to Smith. Back to Matthews. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
Man, it's nice to see Matthews get involved inside. Throwing a nice touch around the basket.
And first timer of the game called for Oklahoma City. And DeAndre Jordan, the all-time leader in career field goal percentage, right by a sizable margin.
Yeah, the most prolific dunker in the league, maybe in league history.
Group in here for the Thunder. Noel's checked in for Steven Adams. Patterson comes in for Jeremy Grant. Remus is checked in for Terrence Ferguson. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Russell Westbrook. Now here's Schroeder. He's coming off a 19-point game against Dallas. And George kicks to Abrinas. Back to George. The Mavericks pull it in. Last time the net was in Dallas.
Yeah, it was a narrow win, but in that last meeting, I think foul trouble for the other side may have really just tipped the scale and allowed them to escape with the W.
You know, whether it was their smart play or a few whistles that perhaps could have gone either way, when games are tight, every decision becomes more magnified.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Boy, it's a thing of beauty watching him attack the defense like that. I mean, they wanted no part of him on that layup.
Now, here is George. Running on 26.5 points a game, rarely has an off night. For Dallas, they've gone 4-7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Finney Smith can't get it to go.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
I agree with you. Not a good shot, not good offense. They can get a much better look than that, but they're going to need to be patient to do so. Boy, I like seeing that toughness on the offensive glass. Did a nice job judging, anticipating where the miss was going, and then putting it back in. Nicely done.
Now, here's Barea, who provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. He kicks it to Nowitzki. Harris finds Barea. And they're unable to get the time basket there. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Thunder lead by 3. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Oklahoma City. stages of his career, Dirk Nowitzki talked about how special he feels marching his way up the all-time scoring leaderboard.
Makes you reflect, milestones always make you reflect on everything. I've been really blessed.
And it's clear, G.A., that Dirk still enjoys playing the game and draining buckets in a variety of ways.
You can't deny his legacy. Arguably the best 7-foot shooter in the history of our game, which is why he's so high up on that leaderboard.
And we're getting back to the action in our New Year's Eve broadcast. What stands out to you from Oklahoma City in this one?
I tell you what, that first quarter, you can see the game plan is a commitment to offensive rebounding.
And you know what, Greg? It looks like they have an advantage there. I liked how they've made an effort, really a concentrated effort, to hit that glass.
Patrick Patterson is out there at Nerlens Noel. Then there's Dennis Schroeder and Diallo in at the 2-guard spot. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Kevin, the league has unveiled a 5-point plan to improve player-referee relations. Things became heated last season with a lot of star players ejected for arguing with officials. The emphasis on respect and clear standards of conduct on both sides can only help. Kevin?
Very good point, David. Completely agree. Thanks. The Thunder went into free agent marks, but ended having a big summer.
Able to retain Paul George, and that was the first and largest key. Getting a player like Noel for cheap was also a big help for this league. The Thunder were at a fork in the road last season, but this team now as dangerous as ever.
Now here's Schroeder. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game.
Hey, Kevin, that's what you want to see. Strong passing inside, leading to the hoop.
Here's Harris. And Dallas calls their first time out of the game.
Well, Dennis Schroeder showed he can handle high usage in an offense. Was the first option for the Hawks this past season. Even with defenses keyed in on him, he was able to average right around 20 points.
Getting ready for Oklahoma City. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Noel. Grant comes in for Patrick Patterson. Russell Westbrook's checked in for Alex Abrinas. And it's Felton in for Dennis Schroeder. Now here's Barnes. His last outing, 16 points for him. Offensive rebound. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
Yeah, the versatility and competitive fire of Doncic is impressive. You can just tell this kid loves to play the game.
And with Schroeder, he said he learned how to deal with all that extra defensive attention.
And being able to stay productive when dealing with the best opposing defender goes a long way in the NBA. Schroeder also managed to cut down on his turnovers while taking on more of a playmaker role. Strong year for him offensively, and I wouldn't be surprised if he continues to grow as a player.
That one is off. Lots of physical play, Clark, during your time in the NBA. That's been toned down to a degree. Do you miss it being a bigger part of the game now?
You know what? I think it's still a very physical game. The rules have changed. The way the game is officiated has certainly changed. Some of the tough fouls that you saw in decades past don't exist as much. But I still think the game is extremely physical. So I'm glad to see us move in the direction of toning that down a bit. There's enough physicality in the game.
Grant kicks to Felton. Back to Grant. 6 on the shot clock. Oklahoma City needs to get... Felton can't get it to go. The Mavericks trailing. On Gives it up for Jordan, and DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
Yeah, you got to respect the athletic reach of Jordan now. Throw it up, and he will bash in the alley-oop.
To the middle. It's deflected. Here's Felton. He can't get that one to fall. Now Dallas takes it the other way. They want to keep rolling here following the win against the Thunder.
And this is why scouting is so important. You've got to be able to identify those role players who can complement what your team does.
And you know what, Greg? Every team has guys that play different roles. As a matter of fact, most players in the league are role players. It's a matter of understanding your role and doing it well, because role players are just as important as the stars.
Here is Matthews, following the basket by Russell Westbrook. Smith gets it to go on the assist by Matthews.
Kevin, I love the mid-range game of Smith. We don't see that a lot from a bunch of players nowadays, but he's constantly looking to let it fly from here.
Now, here's Grant. He's coming off a 10-point game against Dallas. Westbrook, no good. The Mavericks leading.
And looking at Luka Doncic, incredibly mature for his age. Physically, the broad shoulders, weighing in about 230. Mentally, though, advanced understanding of how to play the game.
Here's Barnes. That one wide left. And here's Westbrook. He'll bring it up for Oklahoma City. Whistle blows. Bucket is good. And he'll get a three-point play.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
And Greg, to be able to take the bump like that and maintain control, that's not easy to do. I know you're kind of a little fella, and I was a big guy when I played, so I know how difficult that is. That was impressive.
I see.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. George is checked in. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for the Mavericks. You know, Greg, it's amazing that Doncic, at his age, could already have such a complete offensive game.
I mean, a terrific skill set. And Doncic spent plenty of time as a primary ball handler. Obviously, can score in a number of ways, just a versatile threat.
And it's the Thunder with the ball. After Luka Doncic's miss, it's good. George has got 5 points so far.
Boy, the confidence that George brings to his game is also confidence that impacts and injects his teammates. He's a high-octane scorer. He's ready to go as soon as the game starts and whenever he gets the ball.
It's stolen by Adams. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. George looking over the floor. Westbrook double team. And Adams with the slam.
Love the attitude of West to improve at running the offense and finding ways to create opportunities for his teammates.
Smith kicks to Doncic. Here's Jordan. They get a hand on it. It's stolen by Adams. And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their points coming right at the rim. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks. Welcome back. This is Ernie Johnson. Anyway, Jeff Smith, Shaquille O'Neal at 2K Sports. Let's talk first half. A competitive matchup for Oklahoma City in the first quarter. At the end of the period, they held a 3-point lead. Looking at the Thunder, Kenny, what do you think?
I was super impressed with their shot selection. I think that was part of the strategy coming in. They wanted to be patient with the basketball, move it around, and get high percentage looks. Obviously, that's going to be big.
And looking at Dallas, Shaq, your thoughts?
They did some good things, but the defense could have been much better. They allowed too many open looks, allowed the other team to make over half the shots. Some of that is not getting enough pressure on the ball, not really contesting at the rim. They look good, but not good enough.
And it's just about time now for the third quarter to get underway.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City, everyone. You can see Chesapeake Energy Arena there in the background as the cars stream down I-40. We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Russell Westbrook really making a difference here.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter where he is on the floor either, Greg. He's making it look very easy. He's looking to score the ball.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. On the floor for Dallas, Doncic and Barnes are the forward pair. Smith and Matthews in the backcourt. And it's Jordan in at the center, filling out the middle. Now, here's Doncic. Kicks it to Matthews. From deep three-point range, that one no good. And it's Oklahoma City the other way. Westbrook wide open. He fires. Bank shot, no good. Mavericks trail by 6.
Unfortunately for the Mavericks, they've gotten pummeled on the glass recently. 27th in the league last year in rebounding, dead last the year before.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, the Mavericks were ecstatic when Dennis Smith Jr. fell to them with the 9th pick of the 2017 draft. Athleticism and size at the point guard has been a hand-in-glove fit. The 6'3" Smith has a 48-inch vertical, one of the highest ever measured.
A terrific young player, an elite NBA athlete. David, that's for sure. Good stuff, thanks. For Oklahoma City, they have gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line. Dennis Schroeder's checked in for the Thunder.
Mind the lane. Mind the lane. One shot.
And Grant, no good on that one. And Jeremy Grant, great genes for the game, Greg. Father was Harvey, uncle was Horace, both NBA players and stars. His brother Jerian also in the association.
Yeah, and Jeremy might be the best athletically of them all. I mean, 6'8" with that 7'3" wingspan, great bounce. If he can develop his skill to match, he'll have a long and prosperous NBA career.
So here's Westbrook. After Wesley Matthews scored, a putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. And the Thunder lead by 6.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start bustling down.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And DeAndre Jordan this last offseason opting out of his contract with the LA Clippers. He felt, Greg, obviously it was time to move on.
It didn't take long for Jordan to find a new home. Had almost signed with them last time he was a free agent. Closed the deal this time around. Still has a lot to offer and a really good fit for this team inside.
No good on that one.
And this spot has always been Jordan's biggest drawback. He's never been able to make his free throws at even a modest rate, and teams are never afraid to put him on the line.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Noel's checked in for Adams. Patterson comes in for Grant, and Diallo subbed in for Russell Westbrook. And he misses the second one as well, so he is 0 for 2 that time. Dribble drive has never gone out of style. Still a primary weapon when you think about some of the guys who are best at that. Who comes to mind, Clark?
Man, there are a lot of guys that convert off the bounce at a high level. LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, one of the very best. I don't know if anybody has a handle as sweet as his. Harden is terrific off the dribble with the drive or the pull-up jump shot. Dennis Schroeder, maybe not of the ilk of those guys, but certainly a handful when he's got the ball in his hands with a live dribble.
Now here's Schroeder following the miss by DeAndre Jordan. That's to Diallo. In the corner, George with it. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Finney Smith passes to Jordan.
Taking a look at some stats for DeAndre Jordan. Over the last month, he has been spectacular. First in rebounding. And he's right there among the most efficient scorers in our league. Third overall in field goal percentage.
And just going back real quick to the fact that he's tops in the league in rebounds, what a tremendous feat. What a monster he is in the paint. The first one falls. And the Mavericks making a change here. Harris is checked in. And so Jordan nails both of them.
You know, management for the Dallas Mavericks came right out and said they did not want to enter a rebuild phase. You know, sometimes we don't get exactly what we want, and 2 subpar years in a row certainly changed things for the Mavs.
Noel dishes to George. A baseline J, stripped it away. Here's Finney Smith. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. In the corner, it's Harris. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Out to the right wing. Finney Smith can't get it to go. A veteran-laden team for the Mavs last year, Clark. Guys with some big contracts.
Yeah, when you're bumping up against that cap, it makes it really hard to start over. You have to really draft well, which I think they did last season. Dennis Smith Jr. became a really valuable asset. Boy, he really bungled that finish.
And so it's Barea with it. They'll bring it up for the Mavericks. Their defense has only allowed 6 points in the second half. Jordan finds Harris. Lobs it up for Jordan. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Here's Diallo, guarded by Harris. Diallo, no good.
Looked like he rushed the layup to me. I mean, the defense was late on contesting that one.
In the corner, it's Harris. Back to Barea. Fires for 3. And the rebound goes to the Thunder. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And George kicks it over to Schroeder. Back to George. They need this one. And he lays it up and in. George has got 7 points in the game.
I love the activity. George is not just a perimeter player, folks. You can depend on him down low, too.
And so it's Oklahoma City in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
For me, next to the big-time alley-oops and monster throwdowns, passes like that are probably the next best thing when it comes to sweet-looking NBA highlights.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this 4th and final quarter. The Thunder leading by 8. Inside pairing is Grant and Adams. Russell Westbrook out there with Phelps. And it's Abrinas in at the 3 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. And it's good, 2 points.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Pretty clear it's smash mouth basketball. Pound that thing inside.
Now here's Barnes. Back to Smith. Good work there as it goes.
And, you know, Smith says, bump that. I'm not going to let the defense overwhelm me. If he's close to the rim, he's going to find a way to score around good defense.
Here's Westbrook. Here's Abrinas. He dishes it to Adams. The shot, no good. Good D by Barnes. To the middle, here's Nowitzki. And Nowitzki with the stuff.
Man, like how strong Nowitzki goes up with it there. I mean, when he's this close, he's not trying to lay it up, fellas. He's punching that thing.
Pass to Grant. Over to the left wing. Left side, Westbrook. Second chance effort, and there's the nice layup by Adams. And the Thunder lead by 8.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident.
Now, here's Doncic. Powell kicks to Barnes. He gets it in there.
And it's nice watching Barnes. I like seeing him convert through contact. That, to me, demonstrates how strong he is on these finishes.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. For Oklahoma City, George is checked in for Alex Abrinas, and Ferguson subbed in for Raymond Felton. And Dallas with a change here too. Matthews, he's checked in for Powell. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Billy Donovan talking to his team. He still wants them to be aggressive and assertive on offense. He said, I don't want us to get content with this lead. Build on it. Don't give them any chance of getting back in this thing. Kevin?
All right, thank you, David. Here's Smith. Steven Adams making his last shot. Here's Matthews. It's good, the assist that time from Smith. Smith's got 3 assists in the game. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Grant kicks to George. Back to Grant. He can't get that one. Good D by Barnes. Doncic passes to Nowitzki. Smith in the post. He's covered by Westbrook, and it's Smith missing. Smith against Westbrook. Passes to Grant. Back to Westbrook. 5 on the clock. The 3. It's good from long range.
Whether he's attacking the basket or squaring up from long range, Westbrook is always dangerous.
Now, here is Smith. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Matthews against Grant. Nowitzki kicks to Doncic. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops.
And he's capable of scoring from anywhere, really. Doncic has a strong grasp here of the mid-range.
Smith against Westbrook. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
Right in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Boy, like his intensity, Greg. He's not afraid to take it straight to the rack on the bigger defender. Right at it.
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Oklahoma City.
I'll tell you what, they've hit the boards hard in this one. It's led to an abundance of second chance points. I mean, they've gotten a lot of second chance points.
Yeah, well, also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
And Russell Westbrook is as explosive a guard as we've seen in the history of the game. An incredibly gifted scorer who can also punch it on you.
Now, here is Smith. Right side, Jordan. Three for Matthews. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan.
Always got to patrol the three-point line. When you don't, you suffer the consequences.
And here are the Thunder now. They've led by as much as 10. George with no one around. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline.
Not completely over, but it's getting close.
Yeah, this one is ready to be put on ice. Not a whole lot they can do from here.
And so it's Oklahoma City with it. Following the three-point attempt by Wesley Matthews. Ferguson, the pass to Grant. Inside, here's Adams. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So one free throw coming up.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
One shot, gentlemen.
And the free throw, no good. And here's Matthews from the arc, from beyond the arc, and then some.
Always ready to rise up and take these clutch shots. Wesley Matthews, big-time confidence.
So it's Oklahoma City picking up the win. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, but I really got a sense that the fans gave them that emotional boost that was needed down the stretch. This crowd, man, they were electric.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. Where is your team's attitude right now?
Continue to play together. If we can just stick to that, keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down, we'll be all right.
Looked like it all came together tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Olson, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports.